What's up, y'all? If y'all don't know who I am, my name is Tyrese, and I run a clothing brand called Lelome. So today I'll be going over how to start your own clothing brand in 2026. Disclaimer, I am still a starting up clothing brand, so these tips are just from a viewpoint of a started clothing brand, but I know I got the knowledge to give some type of insight and some type of input on what I feel like is some steps you could take to start a clothing brand in the year 2026. I'm gonna go over in this video just what I believe on how to start a clothing brand. So of course everybody's opinion is different on the order, but this is the order I feel like makes sense. First, you want to understand why you want to start a clothing brand. Are you starting a clothing brand just for money? Or are you starting a clothing brand to build a community, for longevity, and for your future? So you want to understand first, why are you starting this clothing brand? Because there's different reasons why people start a clothing brand. It's always important to have a why for everything. Like, why are you starting this clothing brand? Is it to better your future? You want to start something new, you creative, you want to get your ideas out? Like, always have that why. I feel like that's very important. My why is also to give people a way to express themselves without having to say anything. Something that feels exclusive, bold, and luxury when you're wearing it. That's my why for my clothing brand Lelome. Next thing up, you want to do research. When I say do research, make sure you research the markets, the trends, and target audience before getting into clothing. Make your own creative clothing. Like, make sure everything is creative, but make sure you're doing products around the right season, the right time. Look at the market, figure out what's hitting right now, what people wearing right now, what people not wearing right now. You know, you want to look at all those things. Maybe look at other clothing brands as well and see what good products they have and they're good at doing, and be able to apply it to yourself and being able to make your clothing brand stand out. You want to know your audience, you want to know your competition, you want to know your production process. Also want to go out there and figure out how to find a manufacturer, how to get these things, what kind of fabric you want. Like, just do your research and understand, like, you know, get information. You want to make sure you know about the clothing brand world, you know, watch fashion videos, you know, get into the clothing brand industry, watch people that already have a successful clothing brand and being able to understand the steps that they took in order to be able to be successful too. So that's the things I do, take notes and being able to apply it to my clothing brand. Step 3, come up with a unique clothing brand name/logo. So with this, you don't want to be the same typical name brand that's out there that's like, you know what I mean, like the same name that just repeated over and over. You want to be able to take your time and sit down, and if you're really serious about this and you want to be unique and different, you got to take your time and figure out something that's not already out there and be creative with it. Like for me, Lelome, L-E-L-O-M-E, stands for Every Legacy of Mine Eternal. I made that an acronym. I first came up with the letters. I don't know how I did that, but hey, I'm creative. So I came up with the name and then I came up with the meaning after. That's how you build creativity to stand out, by having a name that is different and unique. So you want to come up with a unique clothing brand name and logo. Logo is also important as well because you want to be able to have your own logo that ties to your brand. My logo right here is different. It pairs up with my brand name too as well. If you want to stand out, come up with something different that you know it's maybe hard to pronounce, hard to say, but it'll pick up later once they realize, like, okay, this is an important brand. This is something that is taken serious and I should take it serious as well. So we're gonna apply it to my vocabulary. We're gonna understand how to pronounce it. We're gonna understand the meaning behind it, and we're gonna rock it. And that's how I did it for my brand, Lelome. Be able to take your time each and every day and be able to understand, like, where would this go in 5, 10 years? Like, would you still have this name? That's what you will want to do. Step 4, decide what kind of clothes you want to make. My advice would be whatever season is coming up next and you feel like you're ready to drop, go with that season. So if I was ready in August is obviously it's going to be winter, so I would make sweatsuits. You know, if it's summer or like right now, you want to make some shorts or t-shirts. You want to go by the weather. Step 5, sketch out your clothes. So this step, you want to get a notepad and a pen and be able to just draw out what you want. Like, see it first, you know, be able to be creative on the paper. And sometimes you might come up with something, be like, I don't want to go with that no more. Then you just keep drawing until you come up with that first piece. While you're sketching, just being able to draw down ideas, sketch out ideas, and be able to see it come to life. With Lelome, this is what I sketched out, and I was able to go based off of this after coming up with different ideas of what I wanted to do, and being able to be decisive and pick this product to be able to sell for the summer. Step 6, you want to find a manufacturer on Alibaba. It's an app, of course, that you use to find manufacturers overseas, which is China, Pakistan, whatever you prefer. Once you find a manufacturer that you like, you want to get in contact with them, text them, tell them what you want. It'll be clear and precise on what you want, and be able to build a relationship so y'all can work together in your future. Go on Alibaba, it's going to be clear for you to go through the app, be able to search up what product you want, and be able to scroll through and find your manufacturer. You also want to look at your manufacturer profile to see all the ratings, the stars, where they're located, and how long they've been in the game, the reviews. You want to check all these things because it's very important, because you will get your products made from them. You want to see the production time, you want to see the MOQ quality, you want to make sure for your first time, me personally, I go 50 MOQ or under, and no more than that. And if you need help finding manufacturers on Alibaba, go ahead and contact me. I got a few of mine that I haven't used, but they are good people and a good contact and good communication. Step 7, you want to make your social media account. Step right here is something that's optional, but I feel like you should do. You can be able to see it and believe it. Understand that your brand is something that's very important that you want the world to see, so you got to be able to see it. Even if you don't make no posts, you'll be able to go back to it and see like, okay, this is something I'm taking serious and I have something to live by every day to keep better and keep getting creative with. For me, I created my Instagram, I created TikTok, and I created a Twitter at first before I even posted. You can also see if your clothing brand name is already being used when you try to create a social media account, and that will let you know like, okay, this is where I messed up at. This is what he was talking about. Come up with a unique creative name for a clothing brand. Don't be like everybody else. Step 8, you want to order your samples. So once you find a reliable manufacturer, somebody that you could trust, good communication, the products you want, good pricing or whatever, you want to be able to send them your idea. That's a mock-up, your sketch, whatever, being able to get them the fabrics, whatever type of fabric you want to use, and be able to order your sample. Of course, they're going to give you the price of the fabric, the product, whatever you're trying to send in, and tell you the production time, but you want to make sure you ask all these things before ordering the sample. Because when I got my first sample, it was not the best, so I had to reorder the sample. Your sample, just make sure you're clear, make sure they understand, and make sure that y'all both on the same page, so when creating that first sample, you receive it just how you want. Make sure the measurements right. Quick to order the sample, because you could be quick to order a sample and you get your first sample and it be messed up, and then you regret spending however much money you spent. And then obviously I know you wouldn't want to promote that product, so you would order a new sample. And then if you just keep messing up, it's just like a waste of money. So you want to be able to take your time on the first sample, be able to make sure everything right, make sure communication is right before saying, okay, I want to get my sample, get the price and everything, make sure the pricing is right. Step 9, you want to promote and market samples. Right now, this is a step I'm in. I'm promoting and marketing my samples. So when you receive your samples, you want to be able to create all the content you can. Go out there and create the content ASAP. On social media, TikTok, Instagram, and see what type of content is being created with the clothing brand industry right then and there in that month, year, and being able to expand off that and get them ideas and make it into your own with your clothing brand. Using hashtags, using captions that draw people attention. First 3 seconds are important on Instagram Reels to draw people attention. Talk to people, let them know about your clothing brand. Like, hey, I got a clothing brand coming up. I feel like you're a good pick. Follow my social media, and if it resonates with you, then okay, you can tap in with me. But if it doesn't, I appreciate your time. Being able to build that relationship with others, build a community and customers. That's what I do when I'm at work, when I'm at school, etc. Another thing I did was I printed out a paper with my clothes on there, and I went around the city of my area out here and put them around each area where I know people walk, talk, hang out, and know that they will see my paper and have my QR codes. That's another way of marketing. You gotta be able to go out there and do it yourself. You gotta be able to take time for your craft. Connections is very important for your clothing brand. You can't just do it all by yourself. So don't just think you can do it all by yourself. And I'm letting you know this firsthand because I'm thinking I can do it by myself, but you can't. You need others around you, because you're gonna need people to model. You're gonna need people to help you market. You're gonna need people to shoot your content for you with their camera. You're gonna need people to do this and do that. Like, you can't do it by yourself. You gotta go out there and make them connections. Step 10, you wanna decide if you're gonna do a pre-made or pre-order method. Pre-made, you send your money to the manufacturer, all of your money, and they get the product ready for you in bulk, and they send your bulk, and you have product on hand, so when the drop comes, you're already ready to send out the orders to your customers. Pre-order is when you put the products online, and you wait till your customers order, and you use their money to get the orders from China to get your bulk, and then you get the order from China all the way to your house. You're able to sell the products to your customers. In 2026, a lot of customers don't like pre-order method because they feel like it takes too long, and they don't get their product in time. See, with me, I would recommend doing pre-made because customers will be able to trust you and be able to build that community and be able to know, like, okay, they're gonna send their orders on time. I could trust them that my order's gonna come because they have it on hand. Now, with my clothing brand, Lelo, we go pre-made method for our first drop. Like, come on. I'll let you know to tap in with my bread right now, then I don't know what to tell you. We're gonna have it on hand, we're gonna be ready to ship it out, and we got custom poly mailers, but we're gonna wait to show y'all that. I hope this video helped y'all out and start that clothing brand, man. If you don't do it, nobody else will.